Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Gabe Saglie Show. I'm your host, Gabe Saglie, coming to you from my home bar at Saglie headquarters in beautiful Southern California. We are in the midst of a COVID-19 reality, so we are hunkered down at home right now. But we're using this show to keep tabs on the evolving world of travel out there. Plus, we'll throw in some conversations about food and wine and spirits. We'll meet some of my family and friends as well. We'll keep the show current, relevant, but entertaining as well. Any information you see on this show, you'll find on our website, GabeSaglie.com. In just a little bit, we'll be doing some whiskey tasting inside a historic Irish castle. And if you like cookies, I've got a fantastic snickerdoodle recipe that my 12-year-old son, Grayson, came up with. We'll share that with you before the end of the show. But right now, we'll shed the spotlight on the Emerald Isle. What is happening on the ground in Ireland right now during this COVID reality, and what projections are being made regarding travel picking back up to Ireland? The man with the answers, a good friend of mine and chief executive at Tourism Ireland, Niall Gibbons, at home in Dublin right now.
Well, hello, Niall. Welcome to the show.
Gabe, it's great to see you again. Greetings from a sunny Dublin today. Great to talk to you over in LA. And it's hard to believe the last time you and me were together, we were in a bar called Niall's Bar.
I remember.
And we're looking very different from the summer season from the United States then. But it's great to see you again and great to talk to your viewers.
Considering it is evening in Dublin, I did pour myself a little tipple. One of the things I've discovered in my many journeys to Ireland over the years is how great Irish whiskey can be. So the fact I'm broadcasting from my home bar makes it easy to reach for something that I really like. And I've learned to like it with a just one rock in it, just to kind of open things up a little bit. Some of those beautiful aromas.
I wish I could reach in and share that with you. But
okay, I'm going to save you one. I'm going to save you one now. Let's begin by talking about the reality in Dublin now. As a Dublin resident, what does quarantine mean to you, day in and day out? Where can you go? Where can't you go?
Well, I mean, it's hard to believe I'm sitting here, having spent my longest spell in Ireland for maybe 15 or 20 years. It's a beautiful sunny day. The weather has been amazing over the last while. And we have a restriction within 5K, so to speak. So, you know, it's still good. I mean, our family are all here. We're all healthy and doing okay. So that's the main thing. We're still in touch with our friends. There are restrictions, but, you know, I mean, I think, you know, it's been such a surreal period over the last month that we're good to be in good health and talking to our neighbours and looking forward to what's going to happen over the next number of months, because the Irish government last Friday announced how restrictions are going to be lifted over the coming months, and there's 5 phases involving that, and the culmination of that, by the way, is in August, on the 10th of August, when Irish pubs will reopen.
Boy, that's a date that everybody must have circled on their calendar, right? That's when the pubs open back up. I mean, those are the epicenter. I mean, let's face it, for folks who have not been to Ireland, pubs are an epicenter, a social epicenter, where people come together with their kids to eat, to certainly to imbibe, but certainly to talk about love, life, and everything that is going on in the world, no?
Well, it's a cornerstone of the Irish tourism offering, but it's a cornerstone of life here as well. And it's about the food and drink experience. It's about the conviviality. It's about the storytelling. It's about the fun. It's about the music. It encapsulates everything good that there is here, that I know our friends over in the United States love to experience it when they're over here. But people like it here too. And we're looking forward to that day and many, many bright days ahead too, I'm sure.
All right, so I'm going to schedule my next pub crawl after August 10th, 2020. Tourism is such a big part it's such a big industry in Ireland. I mean, you got 70 plus million people all over the world, almost 40 million here in the US alone, who have some degree of Irish heritage flowing through their veins. That emotional connection is such a big part of what drives the tourism industry in Ireland. And it's come to a screeching halt. So you've seen that effect firsthand, obviously.
Absolutely. I mean, our coronavirus story unfolded really in 3 chapters. First of all, in January, when things were breaking out in China, we scaled our activities there, postponed our sales mission, closed our office temporarily. And then in northern Italy at the end of February, we started to see the impact on the European network, when a lot of flights from airlines like Aer Lingus and Ryanair that serve Dublin and Ireland so well start to scale back activities. And then obviously when I was in the United States myself, in New York and Washington, D.C. during St. Patrick's Week, we saw things unfold pretty quickly. And we never really anticipated that the entire global hospitality industry would come to a grinding halt within a period of a month. So I think we're all in this together. There's a great sense of conviviality, though, within the industry. There are a lot of people supporting each other, very much a people business. I think that's what's going to help it survive and prosper in the long term. Tough times at the moment. There are a lot of people that would have been expecting a really busy summer season. Hotels, restaurants, attractions, bars, all part of the fabric of our industry, not just in Ireland, but also globally. So our thoughts are all with the people who work in the industry, and fingers crossed we can see people back as soon as practicable.
So my most recent trip to Ireland was going to be for St. Patrick's Week, and the week before is when this COVID-19 reality really sort of spread around the globe like wildfire, and my trip got canceled like that. So that week was scrapped. So many other great events. I was looking forward to the Galway International Arts Festival in July. At this point, we really, I guess, are looking at summer 2021 as the next big bonanza of visitation to the island of Ireland, I'm assuming.
I think from the United States, that's probably a fair bet. I mean, I think St. Patrick's Day next year is going to be bigger and better than ever before, because that will be the real curtain raiser for the summer season in 2021. We're keeping in very close contact with our friends over in the United States, in the travel trade, the tour operators, the carriers, all the airlines, the diaspora as well, and all our friends who have been so supportive to us. We saw an amazing renaissance in tourism from the US into Ireland over the decade up to 2019. Where 10% of all people who travel to Europe come to Ireland. So it's amazing. 18 million Americans come to mainland Europe, but 10% of them, nearly 2 million, come to Ireland. And we're really looking forward to welcoming them back in due course. And I think next year is going to be a great year for tourism from the United States.
I've seen a lot of these very emotive videos that you're putting out through social media. So you're still managing to keep that conversation very much alive.
I think that was really important to us, because obviously the big sell is off for now, but I think we have to keep on reminding people about Ireland. And, why do people come? It's for that emotional connection. I mean, that's what tourism is all about. It's about people having an emotional experience. And what we did was we repositioned our digital and social media sites to talk across various themes. That could be everything from culinary, where we get people to do recipes, distinct to Ireland. Yeah. It could be about the arts. It's about culture. Some very emotive videos about, one called I Will Return, which is receiving an enormous coverage across the globe, and also Ireland from the Sky. And we have a number of about 9 different themes that will be unveiling over the coming months, just to remind people of why Ireland is great.
I will return into her arms, gently into the fold, to see her waters and her hills and all the beauty she beholds, to feel the earth beneath my feet, the warmth against my face, and be welcomed in at every turn into her kind embrace.
And what's amazing is that I just got statistics yesterday that has shown that our engagement online this year is actually busier than it was last year. So I think the great thing is that Ireland is at the forefront of people's minds. And when those planes are back in the sky and when we can book a holiday, I think Ireland will be up there at the top of the list.
And listen, that emotional connection that is unique to that Irish experience is going to help drive, I'm imagining, travel back to the island as soon as we get that green light, right?
Oh, I think so, yeah. I mean, we see it already. I mean, I know that talking to some of the tour operators, they're already getting bookings for 2021. When the Irish government last week announced the unveiling of lockdown restrictions, I think people start to feel a bit more confident. Obviously, we need to make sure that we can, assure people on safety and security, particularly in a post-COVID world, that, things like social distancing and all those things will need to be in place. But I think, the authorities here are well on top of those conversations. And I think next year we'll see travel rebound stronger than ever.
Now, you've been at home for weeks now with the ones you love. The worst thing and the best thing, perhaps surprisingly the best thing, of having had to be hunkered down at home during this quarantine?
Well, the best thing, I suppose, Marion and the 4 children here got to see more of their dad in the last 6 or 7 weeks than they probably did in the last 6 or 7 years. So that's a really good thing. And I think on the sad thing, well, you don't get to see your friends. And I think that social interaction is very much what it means to be Irish. And that's something that we've all missed. But we're looking forward to brighter days. I think, sometimes you just have to take a bit of short-term pain for long-term gain. We're really looking forward to, getting out and about, socialising as we do really well in Ireland, but most of all, welcoming visitors to our shores once again in the very near future.
Yeah, no, well said. I mean, it's that pervasive Irish enthusiasm and optimism, and I think I'm right there in line with you, Niall. Listen, next time I see you, it'll be face-to-face. We'll share another sip or two, and we'll talk about what this all was about and look forward to brighter days, no doubt about that.
Well, we look forward to welcoming you back in Ireland again. You're our national mascot for St. Patrick's Day at this stage, so I hope you're going to be back over here in 2021 and for many years after that.
You bet. All right, now, thanks so much, and thanks for being on the show.
Great, thanks, and best of wishes to you and all your viewers.
And again, Niall is Chief Executive at Tourism Ireland. You can find out more, start planning your next Irish getaway right now by visiting Ireland.com. Now, staying on the Irish whiskey theme, one of my favorite visits to Ireland in 2019 was to the Boyne Valley and Slane Castle, a historic, storied property with a beautiful, brand new state-of-the-art distillery there. I got to sit down with the man behind the scenes, Alex Cunningham, as we sipped our way through the latest Slane whiskey. Check this out.
On the nose, you're going to pick up the virgin American oak barrel.
Yeah.
Lots of lovely vanilla. And then if you take your first little taste, let that settle on the tongue. You're going to get the lovely butterscotch and ripe banana notes coming from the Tennessee whiskey barrel. And then lastly, lovely dried fruits like raisins and sultanas coming from the Oloroso sherry cask from Jerez in Spain. So we mature them separately and then blend it together, and that's why we call it our Slane, our triple cask blend. And yeah, it's going down a storm.
So it's really sort of delivers on multiple levels, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted it to be a whiskey that you could enjoy on its own, like we are now. But if you stick it in a cocktail, it's not going to get lost. There's lots you can build on. And then actually my favorite way of drinking it, which kind of ties in with the music as well, is just on the rocks, you know, Slane rocks. Beautiful.
Beautifully done. One of my favorite words that I've learned here, sláinte.
Sláinte. Good seeing you.
Tasty stuff indeed. Make sure you schedule a visit to Slane Distillery on your next Ireland getaway. Check out slaneirishwhiskey.com. Now, before we go, a quick shout out to my 12-year-old son, Grayson. He's been keeping busy during this quarantine time in the kitchen, doing a lot of baking. His latest creation, these easy but super satisfying snickerdoodles. Really good. If you want the recipe for this, if you want information on anything you've heard on today's show, check out the website, GabeSaglie.com. The world of travel changing daily, really, during this COVID-19 reality. We will stay on top of it, and we'll bring you a lot more on the next Gabe Saglie Show. I'm Gabe Saglie. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay well. We'll see you next time.